Welcome to the weekend here at Crafters TV. It is Saturday, yes, and we are ready to blast off into space. Although we don't have our astronauts uniforms. That's maybe we should have thought about this, shouldn't we, for a launch day? We should be, those big, puffy spacesuits. Hello, welcome everyone. Anyway, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you if we haven't met before. I'm sure we have, and we will in the weeks to come. Now, I am dressed for the season that we are in right now, which is, well, allegedly here in the UK, it's summer. So I thought I'd come dressed ready for the Caribbean. And on the other side of the studio, one Mr. Craig Laird appears to be dressed for a trip to Lapland, Craig.
Merry Christmas! Well, technically it is. Come on, it's Christmas in July, 25th of July. I don't know about you in America, but here in the UK, shopping channels tend to do things round about Christmas in July on the 25th. So I thought we'll bang on the jumper because I've certainly got a good deal for you anyway, that's for sure. We've got a star buy coming on, which I chose for you. And can I tell them what it is? Can I tell them?
Yeah, go on, do it now. Do it now.
So you may have seen, if you've got our ink pads, then you may need storage for our ink pads. And we have got pretty much, what have we got on there? We've got Spectrum Noir, the storage ink pads. So we're getting the two of them for that price, which is incredible. So if you have the full range of either the opaque pigment ink pads, or if you've got the full range of the water reactive, or if you've got the full range of the quick dry, they will certainly store all within your black trays where you're getting the two sets for them, which will combine to enable you to store the full range. But I think Derek has got them in the boxes right across here.
I have, and Craig's made them bog off today, so it's buy one, get one free. I say you buy one, you get one free. And here they are. They are delicious, aren't they? Really, really. And every one of them, remember, holds 18 of your inks beautifully there. And the two slot together and stack together as well, don't they, Craig?
They absolutely do. So you can have them straight up and down, like my one's just here, so you can see. Or what you can do as well is if you've got a bit of limited space, you can obviously have them side by side. So let's pop them this way. So I'm going to move them. I'm not actually going to completely click them together, but you can see that you can kind of just see. Let's move them in that way so that you can see a bit better. They do have wee slots, so they do clip into the side of each other. However, what you can also do as well, you can start to do them at a wee bit of an angle. So if I do that one and then that one there, we can kind of see you get more of a slant just there. So there's a few different ways in which you can have them. So it completely depends on the area that you're working. So you've maybe got high levels, you maybe got quite low, but you've got a wide space, so then you can actually have them out that way. Don't forget they either click on top of each other or they slot in side by side. So a few different ways in which you can store them.
So you can create like a little kind of theatre. Like theatre seating going on. Can you do that all the way down?
You could do, yeah. You can do, yeah.
Go on, so do it. I'll give you a couple of seconds while I have a look through the comments. Sure. How amazing. Morning, everyone, wherever you are. It's 3 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 11 a.m., depending on where you are, roughly speaking. Unless you're in Melbourne or Singapore, in which case, good evening. Tonight, it's Saturday night already, isn't it? Bizarre. Morning, Sally Bond. How are you? She's saying, morning, all you crafting addicts. I hope you're all well, wherever in the world you are. Hannah says, that's a lovely bright shirt, Derek. Thank you very much. I thought I'd go bright and blue today. Had I known it was Christmas, I'd have come in as the Christmas elf. I've got the perfect outfit, but you maybe have to wait until closer to December to do that. Julie's loving the jumper on Craig as well. Daisy is making a trinket box in Texas. Hannah says, oh, Craig, that's adorable. It is a nice jumper, I have to say.
Me or the jumper?
Well, naturally both, Craig, I believe is the answer you've paid me to say.
Yeah.
So have you got a little theatre going on there now? Look at that.
Yeah, so now you may not have an area that's kind of designed in that way, but it just goes to show that you could do if you have, it's like maybe like a chimney bit in the middle, keeping on the Christmas lines. But yeah, you can do, so you've got your centre ones could be higher, your two middle ones could be at either end. You can, of course, I've not slotted them in, but of course you can do. You can completely have them in different areas and that as well. What I will just say as well, these do fit our Spectrum Noir Harmony ink pads, whether it's the opaque, water reactive or the pigment. But if you do have your square ink pads from the Distress ink pads, you will see you've got a wee lip just there at the back. So if you've got the square ones, these will also hold the square ones, and they will just nicely slot just into there. So they're not going to go all the way to the back that you have to try and get your fingers in. What they're going to do is just sit nicely against that wee lip at the back there, and you'll still be able to slide them out with your finger just there. So whether it's our ones or the square ones, they will fit these ones just perfectly.
Thanking you very much, sir. What a bit of a star buy that is. So remember, it is 2 sets of those, so that's going to hold 36 of your fabulous inks there for you. $16.99, $24.95. Very, very busy already. I'm not surprised. You know, you maybe want to sing that song now as well, Craig. What's she gonna look like with a chimney on? Anyway, that'll be in your heads for the rest of the day. I can only apologise. That will be in your head now for the rest of today. Jeffrey has said to me, have you managed to open your Gemini? Yes, I have. On Wednesday night, director Daniel came round to my house. I left the room while he took the Gemini out of its box, because you know me and my polystyrene thing, and we were die cutting like crazy and loving it. But we'll talk more about that while Craig's doing his demos. Now, hello. Welcome to a premiere on Crafters TV, something you have never ever seen before in its entirety there. You right over there? He's having a calamity over there, I think. You have got our Make a Statement stamp and die set, which is the entire alphabet and an ampersand, you know, one of those sort of musical looking and symbols, and all of your numbers, and some glitter card, all included in the one bundle. Now, I have to say to you, because you are such clever cats out there, the way you shop with us here at Crafters Companion. I wish you could see Craig now. I don't know what's happening. Craig, what are you doing? What are you appear to be, you've turned into ET at Christmas.
I am. I've obviously obviously popped a wee bit of extra weight on over lockdown.
I'd offer to help, but
there we go.
Wow, there you are.
Yeah, there's no way that's staying on for 2 hours.
It's a bit too hot in here. Sorry, you couldn't miss that moment. Right, where were we? So the entire Make a Statement alphabet, all of the numbers that are here as well, plus the ampersand, plus you're getting 10 sheets of royal blue glitter card, all included there. Now, I was about to say before Craig, decided to do an impression of ET at Christmas, that the entire collection, you think we've gone to air, how many minutes ago? 6 minutes ago, we went to air. Already, a 1/3 of a considerable stock has already been spoken for. You've already got it. So we're starting off the show on the back foot, so to speak. So 1/3 of the stock has already sold out and gone. These are amazing. I mean, just absolutely incredible. You can see it took a long time and a lot of ingenuity from myself and director Matt and pretty much everyone in the studio to get this display. So it's literally your complete A to Z. All of your numbers are in that one set there. In fact, if I adjust, I daren't touch anything today because it could be like a big domino display. So all of your numbers are in there, and I love the fact that it is stamped and dies. Do you know I can't get that back in there now? I'm going to wander around. Hang on, sorry, Matt. We spent hours putting this together, so there's no way that can collapse at all. Right, okay, let me show you some samples because these are absolutely incredible. For me, I just think actually straight away, I think of so many different applications for these. Personalizing things, not just for cars, for personalizing. If you've got a business, you can use that lettering to say whatever you want to on the walls around your establishment, wherever you are. But let's have a little look at how these have been used. So there's a lovely relax card there from the launch of these on HSN. This one, beautiful. So this is from Lisa. It's beautiful. Thank you very much. Just using that big Y with that lovely lace in there too. This is really gorgeous because look at how soft and gentle that is as a card for mum. And just think, you know, you can initial, you can monogram onto all sorts of things as well. In fact, once you've die cut the letters out, get me within 2 weeks. I've kind of worked all of this out. Then you actually create stencils as well, don't you? Which you can use in so many different ways. I mean, imagine if your house has a number, or if your house has a name. My house has a name. You could actually make signs for the house as well. Little baby. Well, I've got a barn, so it's called something barn. I don't think I'll tell you the whole address if you don't mind. You know, you can all come round whenever you like. Do you know what I mean? I just need to clear the place up first. I need a bit of warning. There's bride and groom. So that's using the ampersand there. How cool is that? That's added so much more dimension to that card, hasn't it? And then I'll just show you one more for now, because I know Craig's got loads to show you on this. So being unique is better than. Now, remember, you've got with every one of the letter, and I haven't got one that I can pick out for you at the moment, but with every letter you have, there are also little stamps with them as well. So for instance, I'm just going to use a couple of examples. So with the letter A, you also get have an amazing day. And there's also you are a, obviously, which is the feature, which is amazing. So you actually have stamps in there too, which I just think is incredible. Now, the whole entire collection, remember, is 26 letters, the ampersand, all of the numbers, plus your 10 sheets of royal blue glitter card, all for £150 or $160. But hang on a moment, before we go anywhere else, think about, first of all, a third of the stock has already sold out and gone. Massive saving on this as well. And remember, if you are a Platinum Club Inspire member, you're not going to be paying £150 or $160. Remember, the website will automatically do the calculations for you and work out what your discount is. Now, that's not the only thing that's on the show today, but it is the biggest thing. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Now, the other thing we've got, of course, if you're going for Craig's Star Buy, you need some inks to go in them, don't you, as well? It might be that you're completing a collection. It might be that you're starting a collection. With me, it would be starting a collection. So here are your Harmony Opaque Pigment ink pads, 15 of them here. Now we're saving over 20% by buying the 15 in this one bundle here. And we've got Anthracite Blue, Bordeaux, Damson Wine, Frosty Jade, Green Topaz, Honey Pot, Oasis, Ocean, Orange, Pale Fig, Plum Jam, Sandstorm, and Straw Bale. All of those 15 inks there, £59 or $83 on that one. So you're saving over 20%, which I think is incredible. Now, the other big bundle that we've got on the show today, and these are so much fun. You may well have seen these before, but now think about them in conjunction with the Make a Statement letters as well, is our fancy font word stamp and die sets. Now, there are 10 sets here, which are brilliant. 10 sets for £50 or $60, which is basically a third reduction. So a third of the price taking off what it should be. So you've got thanks for everything, happy birthday, let's celebrate, with deepest sympathy, happy thoughts, sorry you're leaving, you make me smile, with love, thinking of you, special day, family is everything, and for a special friend there. There is also a multi-buy available on those as well. Any three for £15 or $20, which you'll find if you shop the show. Now we've got a cute little bundle of embossing folders this morning as well, and they really are beautiful. You've got a really good, basically a quarter saving here, which is ace. I mean, really good. We love a nice little saving. So 4 embossing folders. You've got the Venetian lace, a decorative lace border, the rick-rack. Oh, I love a bit of rick-rack, don't you? Really lovely. And you've got the decadent lilies. I love the fact that you've got the rick-rack one, because that's so universal. You can use it on absolutely anything and everything, can't you? So they are there for you. 25% save, which is really nice. So £16 or $22 on that one, which is wonderful. Now, to go with your ink pads, we've got the Essential Tools bundle to go with that. So in there, you've got your brayer. You have your blending tool, your square blending tool, plus the 10-piece refill anyway. So it comes with 3 as it is on its own. but you have a pack there of another 10, which is really, really good, and also comes with the craft mat as well, which is superb. I think that's brilliant value, don't you, Craig, for $19.50?
Incredible value. Not our brand, but another brand that used to have the square blending tools, the refills for the 10. I paid $8.99 just for a refill pack. That was another brand. So that just goes to show how incredible value we've got.
We are amazing.
We are. Indeed.
We are amazing. There you go. £19.50 or $24 on that one. Next up, we have your ink dauber set. Now, these are brilliant. I love daubers. I just think they are brilliant because they just go on the end of your finger. They give you so much flexibility and they're just great fun, aren't they? Really, really good fun. So that's the complete set there. How many did you say there were, Johnny? 40 of them. That's amazing, isn't it? So that's is that $19.50? Yeah, $19.50 or $26. Which is brilliant, and they're always great fun to work with. They really are for blending, and and actually over time, am I right in saying over time the daubers might become a little bit sort of bitty and piecey, and you can actually sort of cut the excess bits off and give them a longer life, can't you?
You could do, yeah, but with these daubers as well, these work perfectly for the opaque pigment ink pads, because when you're using opaque pigment, we're going to show you, because they kind of stay a bit sticky, and not obviously tacky sticky, but what they do is they kind of like stay wet on your cardstock. So what you can do then is go over the top of your stamped image or whatever you're using with the inks and use your embossing powder. So if you're wanting to add obviously layer and you're wanting to have that seamless colour of your ink pad, then using the daubers are perfect, because you can go over in small areas or larger areas and get that intensity of colour over and over again. You can use them with your water reactive ink pads if you want, but they are done perfectly for the pigment ink pads.
Craig, what does your mug say? Jeffrey's liking your mug. What does it say?
On one side it's got my name on it, on one side, and then on the other side it just says "Time for a cuppa." And my very good friend back home in Scotland, she made that for me.
And do you know what? Actually, you could use, couldn't you? You could use your C die as a stencil to decorate things like that as well, couldn't you?
Absolutely. You can
Loving that idea.
Yes.
Loving that idea. Right, okay, stock update already. Now, we started the show, and 6 minutes into the show, we said to you that a third of the stock has sold out and gone. And listen, I'm not going to be telling you every 2.5 minutes how much stock has gone, but we're now only 15.5 minutes into the show and 40% of the stock has gone. So it's a busy show today. I mean, lots of you have got up bright and breezy this morning. Sonia's in from Louisiana. Hello, Derek. Hello, Craig, says Sarah. Melissa says, morning, everyone from Kentucky. Sarah's loving your jumper, Craig, which is now gone. That's gone now for now. Lynn says, you're looking great today. What else have we got here? Everyone's in today. Sonia says, I've got these storage for my ink pads, Craig Star By, and they're very sturdy and I love them. And also the ones for markers are great as well. We're going to have to get those, aren't they? Actually, yeah, that's a good call. Actually, Matt, our director, has just said, has anyone got any pictures lurking around, on your phone or whatever, in your Christmas jumpers? Because, Craig has done it today, or maybe you've got one up in the wardrobe right now. I mean, even if it's 6:15 in the morning or 3:15 in the morning, go get your Christmas jumper on and take a little picture and drop it into us, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. We would love to see it. By the way, if you want to join in the chat, I'm on the Crafters TV Facebook page all the way through the show. Anyway, it's time to get started now, because remember, our big bundle is every letter of the alphabet, the ampersand, and all of the numbers as well, plus your 10 sheets of royal blue glitter card, which is absolutely glorious, by the way. Can I just give you a quick shibby of that glitter card? It's beautiful, and it's one of those where the glitter's encapsulated, Craig, as well, so it's not shedding. I've had a good rub and not a shed in sight.
No, so if you like the look of glitter card, if you like to use it, but you'd have a fear, some people have a fear of glitter, whether it's loose or coming off onto cardstock, you don't need to worry about that. It is shedless. So, that being said, shall we crack on and let's go with the first demo. And with this one here, what we're going to use is we're going to use the L for make a statement. So we have got, within these ones, you've got the die, that cuts in and out your cardstock. So you've got all that detail just there. But then you've also got the stamp set to go with it. So you can create a background with the stamp set of the L, although you can use the L if you want. And then this is where you've got the additional components there. So you've got the L, and then you've got some words there to finish off. Love, lots of, you, and I. So you could then put I love you, or lots of love. You can do all these different things as well. So what we're going to do to start with, so a few of the things I'm using that are on today's show is the red luxury cardstock, the white stamping card, and the black Centura Pearl. So that's what I'm going to be using. So first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of these. So we're going to be using them just maybe in a way that you maybe thought of, oh, I don't know, didn't think of doing it in that way. So let's take our Chinese red, which is that one. And I know I'm going to take pink tulip, which is that one there. So we're going to keep it kind of within the love theme. So what I'm going to do as well, I've got just some clear embossing powder. So I'm going to get that ready to go. I just need just a bit of cardstock just to make sure that I can pick up any of the excess embossing powder. And I am then just going to take, so we'll take the Chinese red. So all that I'm just going to do is I'm just going to press, I'm just going to give just a nice good press there. I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's take the pink tulip and let's go, let's do that. And I'm just going to leave it, that's all that I'm going to do. Then what I'm going to do is let's just sprinkle over some of our clear embossing powder. And because it's the opaque pigment ink pads, they stay, when I say sticky, it's not like a tacky sticky, but what happens is it grabs on to your embossing powder. Now, obviously, you can't see much at the moment because it's clear, but what I'm then going to do is let's take that excess, let's move that to the side. I'm going to bring in my heat gun. And what we've just done is we've just created our own backdrop or our background using the opaque pigment ink pads. So all that I'm just going to do, using my heat tool, I'm just going to place that over the top, and I'm just going to wait until I can start to see the powder melting, and straight away you'll be able to see that. When it does, I'm just going to start to move it out of the way. So there we go, so we're melting away, so I'm just moving that heat, there we go, I can see that just starting to melt. So I'm just going to work my way around, just finishing off this top bit that's missed. Then I'm going to move over into the pink. So as that starts to melt, once again, I'm just moving my heat tool, just finishing that off. And what it kind of does as well is it kind of seals the ink pad. Because it stays a bit sticky or wet, what just means obviously you would be able to smudge it or that. So then that just kind of seals it in. So then what I'm going to do is let's just bring in some of our black Centura Pearl. Now I've already got some double-sided tape already onto the back. So let's just peel these ones off. And we're going to place this one on. Then what we can start to do is bringing in our die and stamps. So I'm just going to tape that into place, press down. Then what I'm doing is if I bring this one in, so I've got the L, and then I'm just bringing in my another bit of black. So this is the black Centura Pearl again, and all that I've just done is popped a bit of our double-sided adhesive sheets on the back. These will be your best friend. Check them out on the website while you're there because they are in stock. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that just to make it a bit smaller. Now all of these dies will go through your Gemini Mini. Of course they will go through your Junior and your Daddy as well as your Go, but they will go through the Gemini Mini. So all that I'm just doing is we're just die cutting that one. So let's move that out the way. So we can take that, moving that, and then what we're just going to do is peeling these ones off. So let's just take that one off. Then all that I need to do is poke out these little bits. So it's all got that adhesive already onto the back for me. So all that I can just do is just work my way in.
Clever, isn't it?
And just poking all of these wee bits out.
Do you know, Craig, here's a thing for a Saturday morning, because Saturday's a bit of a different day, isn't it?
It is.
Because we are at the weekend. I'd love to know what you're doing at the same time as watching Crafters TV.
That would be interesting.
Well, one of our viewers, I've already noticed in the comments, one of our viewers in Seattle, I think it is, I forget who it was now because it's disappeared up into the comments, is watching you, Craig, in between X-raying patients.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I know.
Now that's a new one for me.
Okay,
yeah.
beat that, folks. Join us in the comments on the Crafters TV Facebook
Yeah.
page. But yeah, in between X-rays, catching you
Now,
crafting.
that's, yeah.
I was just thinking your L as well. That would be good for someone who just passed their driving test.
It would be. It would be. So what I've just done there, because I've got the double-sided adhesive sheet on the back, that's just given it another layer, so it's not fully cut all the way through. So all that I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put it through again, and what I've just done is I've just added an extra bit of cardstock. So it's kind of like just an extra shim, just to bulk it out, and then we will then have all these wee bits that will then start to poke out. So we can just work our way, you can see they're poking out. So all that we need to do is just work our way along and poke them out. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So you can do it without the adhesive sheets, and then of course what you can just do is use your sprays. You can use your dotty tape runner if you've got that one. Any of these different adhesives you can use. But of course having the adhesive sheets, which doesn't seem to be playing ball with me today. So let's just, there we go, we're getting there.
Fabulous. Can I just have a quick word with our friends across the pond right now?
You absolutely can.
Joe and Sarah have caused chaos again, haven't they? They've caused chaos with the whole warehouse sale things. I mean, we may well do a rendition of YMCA later, by the way, because the hard hats are in the studio and ready to go for the warehouse sale, which of course is happening tomorrow. Now, I know some of our friends across the pond are having trouble checking out right now. The thing to do is, if you're shopping in the warehouse, go do your warehouse shop in one cart and then check that out. And anything you want from today's show, you check that out separately and all will work perfectly. If you've got a combination of the two, and don't ask me why, I have no idea why, but if you have a combination of the two, it will stop you from checking out. This is just in the US, by the way. So if you're shopping the warehouse clearance, which quite frankly, you really shouldn't be yet, but you can, so it's there, the word is out. So if you're shopping your warehouse items, just make sure your cart has just the warehouse items in it, and then check that cart out. And anything you want from this show right now, make that a separate order and then check that out. You're welcome. I've just saved you hours of swearing at your computer. Where were we, Craig?
Rightio, so I've just finished poking these bits out. Now I've not gone to one that here's one I cut earlier that I wanted you to see right from the start to the finish. That was the double-sided adhesive sheets, wasn't playing ball with me on that one, but I persevered, and you can see that it does work. You just need to add just a wee bit extra pressure. Of course, if you go through your Gemini or that will also work perfectly. So let's take these bits out the way. Now you can create the backdrop of the L using the stamp set. For this one, what we're going to use is just some of the matte red card. So this is from the red luxury cardstock. So then I'm just going to take, I've got a couple of wee bits just there as well. So let's just peel that one off. I just want to make sure I've got rid of these white bits so that they're not seen. So if we take that off, there we go. We have got that one just there, so let's get rid of that, and then we will stick this one on. Alrighty-o, there we go. So then all that I'm just going to do, I've got another one plain rogue there we are. Really pernickety. I don't like seeing little white bits just sticking about. So I'm going to just stick that one on. And there, we can see a white bit there, but let's just carry on because there's loads that I want to show you. Then all that I'm just going to do is, if I just take my scissors, I'm just going to cut round this. So let's just roughly cut round. So I've created the backdrop using the red satin card from the luxury card pack. However, you could stamp this out in red using the stamp that comes with it and get the same effect. I do have a couple of demos where we're going to be doing that one just shortly. So just freehand, just cutting round, and then this gives you that backdrop. So it gives you a nice wee backdrop for you to actually see through. Alternatively, you could leave it as it was if you wanted to. So then what I'm then going to do is pop that one to the side, bringing this back in, press that just down. I've got a card blank as well. Then what I'm doing is bringing in my stamping platform. So if I then bring this back, with that one, and then I'm just going to bring some of our finesse alcohol proof. I'm not going to be adding any colour of this, so you could use your quick dry if you want, but I'm just going to use the alcohol proof. So then let's bring in our stamp set. So we're going to, we'll position the L round about there. So let's do I, and we will then have love, and then we'll also have you. So I'm just going to press
Craig,
that into place.
I've just popped into my head. Just remember we were doing the Christmas peekaboos the other day.
Yeah.
It's just popped back into my head. I can't bear to be without you. Amazing. There's so many people watching everywhere. Lynn Harvey saying L for Lynn. So bear that in mind, Craig. Debbie's watching from Marietta in Georgia. Cecilia says, don't forget Central Time, because of course there's people in the middle of America where it's 5 in the morning and not 3 or 6. Of course, yes, well remembered, everyone. Cecilia's watching from a place called Licking, which is in MO. Where's MO? What's MO? The MO is like a 2-letter...
It's not Missouri, is it?
Is it Missouri? Is it? Yeah, a place called Licking, like you do.
Never heard that one before.
That must be fun when you're having things delivered and you're talking your address through to the person on the phone.
Yeah,
yes, the village is Licking. Anyway, so Sonia says, can we get info on that large embossing powder?
That's not one of ours. That you'll just need to, I'm not sure if we've got another range on our website. If not, then you'll just need to search for it online. It's just clear embossing powder, so you just need to see that one.
Okay, lovely.
So what I've just done there is I've just stamped I at the top, U at the bottom, and then although we've done our gilding powder, what we've just done is just stamped over the top with the Noir Black, the alcohol proof dye, and that will just nicely hold it into place. So let's just add this to our card blank. So let's peel that one off, and then all that we're just going to do, of course, it couldn't be a card without a foam pad. We're bringing this one into place, and I've got a couple of foam pads just to the side of me. So we're just going to press that into place, and then all that I'm just going to do is pop this one on, and we're just adding a wee bit of extra height. You don't have to add any height to it if you don't want to. You could use your glue gels if you want, but you can, of course, pop them on with your foam pads, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're just showing you then how you can use your ink pads, your opaque pigment ink pads, in a different way. So you don't just have to stamp with them or colour with them. So let's just take these two off and that one off as well. Gosh, it's not playing ball with me either today. Good start to Saturday morning, isn't it? There we go.
Well, listen, it's weekend. Like, this is the second weekend. This is our second live weekend, Craig, isn't it? And
it is.
And actually, at the weekend, you know what? You do things slightly differently at the weekend, don't you?
You do.
You're a little bit more, aren't you? You're a little bit more like that at the weekend.
Yeah,
look at that. It's tremendous, Craig.
So there we go. So we've just used the stamp as well as the die all together, and then one just exactly the same at the one that I had done earlier on that you can see. So it just lifts it, and it just goes to show if you want to have a bit of a backdrop but you're not sure what you want to do, or if you're not good at creating your own distressed background, just use the ink pads as they are. Just
how
give it
good
a
is
good,
that?
Yeah.
And how simple is that as well?
Exactly.
And actually, I really, really like that. As someone who is brand new to card making as well, you sometimes feel a little bit overwhelmed by how the background of a card needs to look, because you think, oh, well, I've got to do all of this work to do the watercolouring right, and then I've got to spritz it, and then I've got to take some off, then I've got to, there's lots of things you need to do. And actually, you might think, actually, you know what, that's really, really simple. I mean, the shape that the inks are a nice big sort of oval egg shape, so you can actually use that to make things like hearts and expressions, and then use embossing powders on top of them as well, which is really, really good. I was asking you what the things that you're doing whilst watching Crafters TV at the same time. Claire is drinking her coffee, of course. She said, love you guys. Rachel is stripping the wallpaper, and the steamer is so slow. It always seems like such a good idea, doesn't it? Rather than paying somebody else to strip that wallpaper, I can do that. That's fine. Let's just put aside a Saturday morning, and we'll do it ourselves. And then you realise that, How many layers are there? How long is this going to take? How long do you have to stand with the steamer in the same position to get anything to happen? I feel your pain, Rachel. Cecilia is making tea. Ariane is preparing fabric orders for the new wave of face mask making because face masks have just become mandatory in public places in Belgium in many towns. Of course, it's just become mandatory for us to have face coverings. So not necessarily a mask, but something that covers your face here in the UK. Of course, we have them on in the studio all the time, except when we switch the cameras on and then we get a little bit of a break from it. Sarah's going to have her cuppa and maybe do some more die cutting of her interchangeable dies. Catherine's doing the laundry. Saturday's a good laundry day, actually, isn't it? And if the weather's right, a good drying day as well. Now, listen. This collection that we've got here, oh my word, it's so busy today. Really busy. Over 40% of the entire stock has gone. So this is your make a statement entire alphabet. So from A all the way through to ZZ. And you also get the ampersand plus all of your numbers as well. Plus 10 sheets of royal blue glitter card. I mean, this is throwing the coach and horses at you all at once, which is really good. £150, $160. Of course, most people are not paying anywhere near that price because you're so far up Club Inspire that you will get your discount, and the website will automatically calculate that discount for you as well. And I'm going to say it again, I'll probably say it a few times through the show as well. If you're shopping in the US, and you've spotted that our warehouse clearance items are on the website, they're available for you to shop. I don't know who let that out. I don't know who let that news out. Just remember, shop your warehouse deals in one cart and then check that out. And anything you want from the regular show or anywhere else on the website, check that out as a separate cart. You won't be able to mix the two at the moment and have them check out as one. It's because all of the warehouse items are coming directly from our US warehouse. So I don't know, it's some computer thing anyway. So that will save you hours of frustration. Anyway, let's look at some samples from this set, which is all of the letters and all of the numbers, of course. So here we are using the numbers here in a really cool way. I love that. It's a very sort of vintage postcard kind of, almost like a franked mail kind of background, which is lovely. The flowers set it off just beautifully in the corners, and that's using the 2 and the 5. And then, look at that. I mean, look at that as a bold statement. Absolutely beautiful. Margaret Edgar, you are a genius here, using the U, of course, being unique is better than. Oh, and then you can finish that sentence on the inside. Oh, there you go. Being perfect. It was finished off beautifully.
This is one of our in-store tutors next door in the Aycliffe store when we're back up and running again. So I've not seen her for a while. None of us
I love
have,
that because you see what she's done here as well is she's used the U as a stencil as well for the background, which is so clever, and you don't necessarily see that on first glance, because I thought, oh, horseshoes, and then I looked at it and thought, no, you silly man, that's the U on its side as a stencil. It's amazing. Right, okay, then we have bride and groom. If I just bring up the front of that card there, because this is a stepper card, there is your ampersand. Why do they call it an ampersand? I mean, it's there to say the word and, isn't it? So wouldn't you just call it and?
I do.
Why make it longer? That's beautiful though, isn't it? So great for your wedding celebrations, of course, which are slowly but surely getting back up and running again. You know, people will still want to get married and everything else, don't they? Absolutely. So here is your little baby journal, using the big B there, which is beautiful. Don't forget, with every one of the letters, it's not just the letter that you are getting either. You are getting the stamps that go with that, which is brilliant. And they're all related to that letter as well. So for instance, with R, let me see if I can see. Yeah, you've got relax and other stamps that are there as well. And inside there, relax and enjoy your, what does that say? Oh, retirement. Oh, no, not yet. Nowhere near retirement yet. I'm only 24 plus VAT. You can buy the letters, by the way, and the and and the as a multi-buy. So if you're just topping up, I know I saw in the comments earlier, somebody said, finally, I've got my ampersand, which is brilliant. So any three of those, £15 or $20. Now, a couple of people have asked, are the numbers available on their own? I asked the question just before we started the show. They aren't at the moment because they're all into the bundles of the big collection. So that's the reason why we can't right now make them available on their own. If that changes, I will let you know. Right, let's go back to Craig's Star Buy, which is massively, massively popular. I'm not surprised at all because it's the Spectrum Noir ink pad storage trays. Now, every single one of them will hold 18 of your Harmony inks, and of course will hold other inks as well. It will hold the square inks as well if you want them to. And they're basically 2 for 1 today, so it's a buy one get one free, thanks to Craig today as his Star Buy. So we only have a certain number of them as well. So because of course every time you buy one, you're taking 2 from us. So that means that what looked like a big stock goes down twice as quickly, if that makes sense. £16.99 or $24.95. So it is buy one, get one free. And I love the way you've got them there, Craig, actually. They're all just stacked up like a high tower because that just makes the most efficient use of the space, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely, yeah. And that's why, when they say, right, Craig, we're going to have something special for you. What do you want? What do you want to have as that special for the day? And what I wanted is something to hold the ink pads, because if you see on it's usually my Instagram, if I'm on my Insta stories, under my TV in my craft room, I have all my ink pads just as they are like that. And so many you say, oh, I would love to get them, but maybe I can only afford one set just now and then I'll get another set next month. So that's why it says, well, can we maybe do like a 2 for 1 or something, so then at least by one purchase you're able to then get all the trays to stock and store all at one set, and that's exactly what we've got. So I'm so glad that we're able to make that happen. So everyone else that's want to actually stock up or at least be able to store and contain your ink pads, now's the perfect time to get them, because it's only while we've got them today or the stocks last. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the numbers. Now check out the number, check out the size of these. These are just incredible. So there's the stamp and dies all together. So the next demo, what I'm going to do in a moment is show you how you can use the stamps in conjunction with the dies. But for this one, what I want to show you is how you can actually incorporate your collections. So I've used Sarah's signature collection for this one, a rose gold. So I've just taken some of the rose gold glitter card. So I'm just going to cut the 3 and the 0. So let's bring in some low tap tape just to hold that down into place. So we're just going to do it that way, and then I'm just going to just turn it around. So
why have you chosen 3-0, Craig? Are you making yourself you're nowhere near 30, are you? You're never there yet. So are you making yourself a birthday card for when you get to 30?
I don't know how to take that.
You're not 30 yet.
How old do you think I am?
I don't think you're 30.
Do you not think I'm 30?
I think you're less than 30.
You think I'm less than 30?
I think you're far less than 30. Oh no, hang on a minute. This is turning into one of those conversations, isn't it? This is that I want a £10 note if this conversation goes on much longer. Do you know what I mean? If I'm paying, if you're
I see what you mean. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, yeah. I see exactly what you mean.
Am I going the right way?
Well, put it this way. For me as a person, it's near impossible to ever offend me. So no matter what you say, I'm not going to get offended.
But you're the right side of 30.
Do you think so?
They're being very quiet in the gallery, aren't they? In the control room.
Yeah, because they're watching you.
Because I don't know. Are they watching me dig myself into a hole?
Quite
or
possibly.
am I being very kind? I'm not quite sure. I'll put a number on it, Craig, shall I?
Yeah, do that.
Wow, we've got a whole day to work together yet. This could go really wrong, couldn't it? Okay, I'm going to put you at 27.
Okie doke.
Now, come on, don't give me a poker face and don't give me a clue.
You're well off.
Well off?
Yeah.
The wrong way or the right way?
Wrong way.
The wrong way?
Yeah.
So I'm being kind?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's all. Yeah. Could you feel the tension? I was almost going to cut the atmosphere into slices and send them out to our friends who are watching now. A slice of the atmosphere to take home. I'm sweating, Craig. We need to open our windows, don't we?
And we
That's what
do,
need to
don't
do.
we? We do.
I'm opening a window.
I will say I am definitely in my 30s.
So you're not making yourself a birthday card. I'm opening the window, Craig, because
Oh yeah, that'd be good. I know. I think I'd need to open this one as well.
Even though the alarms are going off outside, we'll just have to
I
cope
thought
with
that
that.
as well. I thought, am I hearing an alarm
Yeah,
or
it's a
something
car
going
alarm.
off out there? So what I've just done there is I've just ran them through my die cutting machine. So I've just used the Gemini. So all that I'm just doing is I'm just poking these out. So now obviously with glitter card, you just tiny bit of patience just to poke them out. If you've got your die release tool, then of course you could be using that one. So let's just take that out as well. Then what we're going to do is we're going to back it off onto a bit of Centura Pearl. So the Centura Pearl with a hint of silver, we've got that on the show as well. So that's just the 10 pack.
There's so many of the Centura Pearl, by the way,
really is.
on the show today. Do take advantage on that because there's massive multi-buys on it as well. I wrote them all down. I don't know why I wrote them all down because I know you'll just go on the website and go and have a little look. You can buy them at £2.99 each,
Yep.
or $4.49. But go for the 4 for £10 or $14. I mean, that for me is brilliant, and I must do that myself. Actually, it's one that I must put my money where my mouth is as well, because there are so many different colours. I forget how many different colours there are there, but there's anthracite, baby blue, baby pink, canary, caramel, chartreuse, cherry, lilac, mint, pistachio, pumpkin, lavender, black, deep purple, ivory, mink, old gold, platinum, hint of gold, and fuchsia. Amen.
There's loads and loads of them.
Yeah. So why did you, back to my original question, before we wandered
Yeah.
off into speculating over your age, why did you choose 30? Are you making someone else's
I don't know.
birthday
I
card?
just I thought I'll use the rose gold collection, and I just thought, well, I'll make it for a birthday. And I thought, what age would be good? Now, of course, rose gold really will go for any age, but I don't know. Just 30 just popped into my head. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's
Well,
nothing,
you know what?
nothing specific,
really.
really.
Mine is the 10th of November, Craig, as I think hopefully you've remembered by now.
Of course.
And
forget that.
I might be hitting that big significant number,
Will
in November
Maybe.
in my dreams. Anyway, where were we?
So what I've just done there, so I'm not going to go and stand and poke out all them the zero out of the 3, but lets you see as well. So without these couple of bits that have popped out, can you see that if you want to keep them all in, you can do as well. So it can look quite nice having been left in place. So you get, I'm not sure if I quite see it with the glitter. Yeah,
so
you
it
can
almost looks
quite
more
see it.
solid, doesn't
So
it?
if you want to keep it a solid shape with all the bits in it, but you've got that nice design, then absolutely you can do. So what I have just done is just with a bit of glue, I've just added it to the back. So I'm not going to cut it all out because again, I do have some, but I just wanted to show you how I would tend to just cut it out. So I always like my small scissors, as you will know by now. So all that I'm just doing is just trimming all the way round. Now you can get this effect with the stamps. You don't have to back it on. Instead of using the cardstock on the back, you could just use the stamps that come with it and just stamp a colour. Maybe white embossing powder, you could do that. But at least having the stamps just opens up that option. Use cardstock or use the stamps. Then when it comes to ending with the centre, what I just tend to do is I just cut a wee slit with a numb, and then all that I just tend to do is just roughly, very roughly, I'll just go round the inside, taking out the majority of it, and then I'll just go round and I'll just trim the inside of the 0 or whatever number or letter that I'm doing. So I'm just holding it with my left hand, and then I'm moving my right hand here with the scissors all the way round. So then that just gives you that effect on the background. So if I take that out of the way, so we've got 2 different ways that we could potentially use it. We could use the 3 as it is with all the detail in place, but with a nice embossed effect, or then you've got it where it comes all the way out. So if I pop these ones into place that I've already done, and I've already got my card pretty much ready to go, so we can just start to assemble it. And as I said, it's just some layers from Sarah's signature collection, so you could check that out. But this could be any collection you've got at home. It could be any pattern papers that you've got at home, as well as any of your Centura Pearls. Just wanted to show you that layer there, because I'm going to just cover that up. What I have just done is I've just die cut a circle, because what that's going to do is that's going to layer on top. Now I don't want to waste all that, so I've just used my circle, die cut it out because you're not going to see that, and then we're just going to place that on, and then I'm just going to take these backings off. We're just going to layer the card up, and other than doing the layering up as well as the die cutting, it doesn't take that long to create quite a stunning card. Usually what you find as well as if you've got, say, someone's name or someone's age on a card, that tends to be kind of the subfocal part. You know, you tend to have an image or someone which is the focal part, and then your eye is drawn onto the name or the age. Whereas now with these, because you've got the make a statement, they do exactly that. They make the statement. So the 30 on this card is going to be the focal point. That's what the eye is going to be drawn to, and that's what you're going to see and stand out. So just pop that one on just there, pressing that, and then I've just got some foam pads already just here at the side of me, layering it up, and we can pop the 3 and the 0, so we could pop that one. I'm just kind of roughly lining that one up, press that one there, and then I've got a couple more, so we're just going to pop this up. But think of different cardstocks that you've maybe already got at home that you can use or incorporate them. Think if you like to do your easel cards, your aperture cards, your shaker cards, all these different styles would look really smart having a die cut word or number out. So if I just finish that off.
Do you know, Craig, I love my friends in the chat. They're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They've just told me how old you are. Because you know all of our friends at home, they know you better than you know yourself.
Absolutely.
So I'm now heaving a sigh of relief.
Yes.
Because I was really the right way, wasn't I?
You were, yeah.
I was really the right way, which is fantastic. Sorry, that makes Craig sound older than he actually is. But I was being very, very kind.
35.
Oh, hang on a minute. Steward's inquiry. Lynn says you're 34.
35 in June, just passed you.
Oh, okay. Lynn, could you just update your records, please? Yeah. Craig has now, in June, okay, so it wasn't long ago.
It wasn't long ago.
Actually, who was it who said, Sandra, this is brilliant. Sandra's who's local to us. She says, we're all 21 with a number of years experience. She says she's got 42 years experience. So you always have to think about it, don't you?
I like
Which
that
is brilliant.
One.
Love it,
like
Craig.
That one. So yeah, so there we go. So on this one just here, that's what we've just done, and exactly the same on the one that I finished earlier, but all that I just done is added a few flowers at the side. But let's just see how your eye is instantly drawn in to that 30.
It's amazing.
And it's just adds it off and just finishes it off.
And if you think about how many different ways you can use numbers as well, of course for birthdays and things like that, and celebrations, 50th anniversary, whatever it might be. But you can also use it for house signs, for house numbers. Actually, I don't know how it works with your rubbish or the trash in the US, whether you have like a big like wheelie carty thing. We have like 3 or 4 in this country. Like one week it's this one and the next week it's that one, and some people have boxes for it and bags and different things. Like we'll have a green bin and a blue bin and not a blue bin, a green bin and a brown bin. No, a brown bin and a black bin, and then a blue box. Now, if you've got a house number, to mark all of those means you don't get mixed up with other people in the street as well, which is really, really good, I think. Now, the big collection, oh my word, I am a... Word? Right, okay, when we started the show, okay, we're getting on for an hour. Where is that first hour gone? Hello? I'll look under the desk. Is it? No, it's not under there. I don't know where it's gone. That's an hour of our life that has just flown past. So we started off the show with 1/3 of the stock sold out and gone. And then we very, very quickly jumped to 40%. We are very nearly at half of the entire stock even. Very similar word, I find. Remember, in the big collection, it is every single letter of the alphabet. So A through to Z. Plus your ampersand, plus all of the numbers. Now, the only way of getting the numbers is in this big bundle as well. And we also send along 10 sheets of that royal blue glitter card as well, which is just absolutely yummy scrummy, and you will want it. Approaching half of the stock is sold out and gone. which worries me greatly for many reasons, some of which I can't even tell you. Now, the letters are available as a multi-buy individually as well. So you can buy any 3 for £15 or $20. And a lot of people are doing that because they are topping up. Maybe you're lucky enough to just have a 3-letter name. So maybe you're a Val or a Sue or a Jan or a Joe. Yes, that would work, wouldn't it? Or Sarah could get away with 3 as well, couldn't she? Because it's 2 A's. Oh, now think about that. And what could I get away with? D, 2 E's, an R and a K. Oh, I'd need 4. I'd need 4. Craig, you'd need 5, wouldn't you? 5 different letters for Craig, isn't there? So anyway, your multi-buy is there, and you can buy them individually. So if you just need the one, so if you just need the ampersand, or you just need a letter M or V or Z or whatever it may be, you can buy them individually. Obviously, the stock's going to be a little bit more precarious in the individuals as well, because it will vary greatly. But they are proving very, very popular, as are this little bundle of gorgeousness, which is 4 embossing folders, and they are just tremendous. I am loving them. Sorry, Matt, keep making that ever bigger and bigger and bigger by the second. There you go. 4 embossing folders. Oh yeah, they are upside down as well, aren't they? Oh, they are. Well, I'll show you them one by one because you get all 4 anyway. So this one is your vintage lace, which I love. Then you have got this one, which is the decorative lace border, so something a little smaller, which is rather cute. Then you've got the decadent lilies, which is nice. And my favourite, I don't know why it's my favourite, I think it's because it's got a kind of fabric bent to it as well, isn't it? Which is your rickrack. And I just think that's a really, really nice, you know, with the card that Craig was doing before, if you embossed the card with that rickrack, then instantly you've got a starting point, haven't you? I just think it gives you depth, it gives you dimension as well. Today's price for all 4 of those is £16 or $22, and it is proving massively, massively popular. I'm not surprised either, not surprised at all. Right, let's go back to the comments because I want to know what you're up to today and what you are doing. Just to remind you as well, if you're shopping in the US, and thank you because you've been very helpful to me on this as well, because the warehouse clearance, all of the warehouse clearance items are being shipped directly from our warehouse in California. I think, is it in California? Yeah. So if you're shopping online for the warehouse clearance items that shouldn't be there already, but they are, so go for it right now. Check out a cart of just those warehouse items and then check that cart out, and then you can shop for the regular items in the show and anything else on the website into a separate cart. At the moment you can't mix the two, but you know what, for the savings and the warehouse clearance, in fact there are items that are so scarce already that aren't even going to make it to the warehouse clearance anyway. So grab those while you can, but remember, check out a cart of warehouse items separately from the items from the regular show. I don't know what that's all about, by the way. Evelyn says, gorgeous cards as always, Craig. Anne says her birthday was June the 10th. She's not saying which one, but it ends with a 0. Oh, Sonia says, well, I pegged Craig at 35. Thank you for giving me all of the info as well. He does look younger though. So there you go. I get that quite a lot. And as Mandy says, and I'm always quite open with it, as you know as well, because I haven't had the best of health, I have Crohn's disease, that kind of helped keep me quite young as well. Thankfully, I'm now past that age where, or past that point where I don't get ID'd anymore. Saying that, I did get ID'd for us all last week in B&Q. If you've seen on my... Did you?
Yeah, but that's because I had my mask and that on. And I had my cap on as well. So, yeah, so a lovely old lady asked how I was. And then she looked at my driving licence and she went, oh. It's like, yeah. So, yeah. That's nice. So that's a result, Craig, isn't it? Yeah, I don't mind. Laura thought you were 25. Yeah. There you go, you see. There we go. That's very good. Age doesn't bother me, although I think, like many people, this year is just kind of a write-off. Don't think any of us are counting this year. So I suppose, yeah, you're right enough. I could still be 34 then, because we're not including this year. Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's just wipe it off the map. completely off the map.
Right, what are you doing this time?
What we're going to do this time is we're going to make a card that would be good for a dad because it says dad. And what we're going to do is we'll incorporate the dies, we'll incorporate the back stamp as well as fuse the sentiment that's on. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the letter D. So with this one here, you've got the D, so we've got the actual die and we've also got the stamps. Now if you look at the actual letter, look at the detail within there for all of the letters. All the designs, they're all great for men or women. You know, it's not as if they're flowery or anything specific for the man. You know, they're great for whatever gender. So what I'm going to do first is I've just got a piece of ivory cardstock. So this is just like a map, because what we're going to do is we're going to take the Bordeaux ink pad, so our opaque pigment ink pad. Let's bring in our stamp. So let's take the D. So we're just going to peel that one off. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just sort of line it up to see where I want to exact. You can do it onto your platform, but doing it this way, you get a good idea as to the spacing of the D as well as the add for dad.
Oh, no, hang on a second. So, sorry, let's just reverse for a second. So that D, that's part of the...
That D is part of the stamp set from the...
So you get... Oh, okay, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, well, this is the first time I've realised this.
Yes.
So as well as the lace cut die,
Yep.
you're getting a stamp of the solid letter as well.
So
this makes me want this
Yes.
even more. I
Yep.
hadn't realised, and I'm so sorry, I hadn't told you folks that either. I hadn't realised that the big letter is part of the stamp set, because we have everything set out here on a massive display. I hadn't actually had one of the stamp sets in my hand.
Yep.
So that means in block letters that you can spell out anything you want, stamp it on wherever you want. So if you want to stamp on your bathroom door, on someone's bedroom door,
Absolutely.
you know, keep out, this is Amy's room, or whatever it may be. You can do it. Now, sorry, that's changed the game for me. That has changed the game for me completely. Remember what you're getting in this big bar. I'm so sorry to interrupt,
That's okay,
Craig,
no problem.
because I love your demos as well, and I hate it when people interrupt demos, and I've just done that very thing, and I'm
But
so
it's
sorry.
good to see, because if you didn't realise that, there
No,
may be
but
some
this
that
is
didn't
important.
either.
This is important, and I wouldn't have done it otherwise. So you have your letter die in that wonderful lace. Let me just show you an example of the R here again. So you've got in every single one. Oh, okay, right, now this makes sense. So you have your die cut to cut out this gorgeous sort of lacework letter, but in the stamp set, and actually, yes, I'm just going to, Craig is very kindly going to give me a stamp set. Thank you, Craig.
You're welcome.
So this is from the Z, or the Z, as we would say here. Let me get a bit of plain something, just so you can see. Right, so you get the full plain block stamp, and they're all going to be exactly identical sizes through all of the A through to Z, and the ampersand as well. Right, that has changed the game for me. Can I just say to you right now, I mean, we are approaching half of the stock, and I only gave you half of the information. And I'm sorry for that, because I'm still new. I'm so sorry. But that's brilliant, because for me, that has changed the game completely. So to have all 26 letters of the alphabet, all of the numbers, the ampersand, and the glitter card included there as well, £150, $160. Remember, you can multi-buy on the letters as well. What was it? 3 for $15 or $20. So if you want a more affordable option, you can buy the letters individually, just the ones that you need, or you can multi-buy 3 for $15. Which is a nice little saving, actually, isn't it? What would 3 be normally? It would be 18, wouldn't it? So that takes that 18 down to 15, and it would be basically $24-ish down to $20 for 3. So go to the website right now. Now we're armed with all of that info. I'm so sorry. When something occurs to me, I'm very slow on the uptake, you see. It's because I'm way older than Craig, so that there's one brain cell in there, and I think it's dying of loneliness, to be honest. But when it gets something, it really gets something. Anyway, right, now, Craig, sorry, I interrupted.
Do not
Floor's
apologise.
yours.
No problem whatsoever. So what we've got is we've got the D with the rest of the word just there. So I've lined it up so I can see exactly where I'm wanting it to go. It's all going to be spaced just nicely. So I'm just going to stamp it onto my platform, and then what I'm just going to do is, using the Bordeaux, I'm just going to give that a good coverage. Now you can absolutely use your quick dry as well as your water reactive. The great thing about the opaque pigment is you can then of course do your powders over the top, which we are going to do. You don't have to, but it gives you that versatility to do that. So let's just stamp that. Now this is a texture, it's a bit like a linen texture cardstock that I'm using. So we're going to get a nice bit of textured look as well underneath. So just pressing that into place. So if we then remove that one, so you can see how we've got that effect there, and then you'll be able to see, look at that texture coming through. So have a think of what cardstock you're using as well. Smooth always works well, but if you use a texture, you're going to get that nice effect coming through. So what I'm going to do again, I'm just going to bring on some clear embossing powder. So just obviously answering the question earlier on, we don't have our own one. I know that we've got this one, and we also tend to use wow embossing powder. So you would just need to go online and just search for that in any of the shopping websites. So there we go. So we've got that. So we've stamped that, and we've just covered the word with the actual powder. So I'm just going to melt that one. So we're just going to let that start, and as it starts, I'm just going to move my heat gun so we can then go over the top. So then that's now starting to just nicely melt. So whereas before, we can see that perfect. As before, what we've done is I used the Centura Pearl as the backdrop, whereas this is now where you can use the stamp sets. So we've got that one. So then what we can start to do is, let's just bring a layer up, and we can start to just layer this one. So then what I'm just going to do is add this onto a bit of cardstock. So I'm just going to place that. Now that's just in case it's no relevance, but just in case you wonder, this is actually a Adorable Scoreable. So if you've purchased any of that, you can see that it works well with our products as well. So I've just got that matting and layered up like so, which looks good as it is. However, what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the next level. So let's bring in, so we've got quite a few just old plates here. So I'm going to bring in my metal shim for this one, just to give it a bit more oomph. So let's just bring in our D die, and then we're just going to place that over the top. So I have got Centura Pearl for this one. This one is one of the golds. Forgive me, I can't remember exactly, but it's one of the golds. So let's just place that one on, and we're going to run that one through. So that's just then obviously going to die cut all that detail. So I'm going to do pause, and then I'm just going to reverse that one, which of course will reverse it out. I would do it again with that same shade of brown that I've just matte and layered that on, that you'll be able to see in a moment. I have got a few already pre-done that have got adhesive on the back, so I don't need to die cut the same D again, but I'll let you see as well. Let's just take all of these out. Now these would be a good one as well. I'm a big fan of paper piecing. Now yeah, there's a lot of these bits that are quite small and fiddly, but you could paper piece selected parts. So you've got some really nice corner designs within that top corner as well as the bottom. So maybe just pick out a few bits and paper piece them. That would look quite nice. So then what I would then just do is just die cut that again into another cardstock. So then we've got the two that would then look like that. So let's move them out the way for the time being. And we'll move that out of the way. What I'm going to do then is bringing in just another piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to bring in one of the other stamps. So on this one, we have also got For a Special, and then you've got To the Best. So what we'll do is take To the Best. So let's just peel that one off. We're just going to use the same ink pad for this one. So it's still the Bordeaux. So let's just place that one on, and then I'm just going to stamp that into place. We're then just going to go over, and that's just going to go over the top, press that into place, So we're still going to get that lovely texture effect you can see up above. The only difference that I have done is also gone over with clear embossing powder and just matte and layered that onto the same cardstock that I've used. So let's assemble this. So I've just brought in some cardstock from Sarah's A Winter's Tale Christmas collection. A lot of tartan within this one. And then all that we're going to do is we're just going to start to layer this one up. So let's bring in got some foam pads here. So we've got Dad. So we're just going to, gosh, these are big jumbo foam pads. I wonder where
They are
come
big,
from.
aren't they?
Yeah. So we're just going to layer all these ones up. You've got to have one for the middle to add a bit of substance to it. So let's just pop that one there. You could put it at an angle if you want. I'm just going to bring it into the middle. So then what I'm going to do is let's bring these two in here. So I'm going to use the golder tone, and I'm just going to offset it just slightly so we've got a bit of a shadow effect coming through. So we'll then press that into place. Then I'm going to take this next one and we're going to do exactly the same on top of the gold. Just pull it down to the bottom right slightly to create another off shadow effect. And we're going to press that one there. Then if we bring to the best, and let's just pop that one. Let's bring in my scissors just to snip this one down. So we can then bring our sentiment in. So I'm going to pop that there and there, just so I get it in the right place. So peel that one off and that one. And in that, we can then start to position it wherever you so wish. I'm going to pop it just there, just so it's overlapping that top bit. And we're going to leave it there. So we've then got To the Best Dad. So we've used the background of the D. And then what we've done is we've used the die and we've just shadowed it twice. So that's how you can use the actual stamps on the background as well. But of course, you can use the die on their own or use the stamps on their own. It's entirely up to you.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And I've got the best dad. I've definitely got the best dad in the world.
I've got the best stepdad in the world.
I love him to bits. Absolutely love him to bits. I'm going to get my dad on the show one day. Definitely. Definitely. And you'll be like, oh, you two. That's definitely, the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree, I can tell you that. Thank you for your kindness as well. You know, that only discovering about the solid stamp earlier. Who was it who says, which is really, really lovely. Who was it who says, Ariane, thank you, you're very kind. She says, be kind to yourself, Derek. It takes around 3 months to settle into a new job. And I've had around... probably around 3 weeks, haven't I? So yeah, so that's not bad going, is it? And lots of you saying as well, don't worry, Derek, we know the product inside out. We're looking at it on the website as well. We'll forgive you. And I want to say hello to Malia, or Malia, it could be, who's saying aloha and good morning from Maui in Hawaii. Now, I want to know, Malia, should I say, whether I've pronounced Maui correctly. And I'll tell you why, because in another life, I talk about cruise holidays, which quite often go to the Hawaiian Islands. So there's Kauai and there's Maui and there's others. There's a port somewhere in the Hawaiian Islands called, and you always remember this for obvious reasons, called Nawiliwili. And I'm not sure if it's on Kauai or Maui or it's one of the Hawaiian Islands. Malia, you can get back to me and let me know. Cecilia says, we're all learning together, Derek. Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's all about. And Elaine says, watching heat embossing never gets old. Never, ever gets old. Someone else was asking about, could the sentiments, not sentiments, they're Christmas things, but sentiments, could they be done and bundled separately from the letters? So I'll pass that through to the team as well and see what they think. Everyone's loving Craig's demos. I mean, they're always amazing, aren't they? I love watching Craig demonstrate is, for me, a joy, because I think, right, okay, one, it's given me inspiration straight away, but also it's not about following any kind of strict rules. Craig will always say to us, okay, well, here's what I'm doing, but you could also do which I love. Now, don't forget your big collection, because lots and lots of people are going for the big collection. In fact, who was it on YouTube? It was Denise on YouTube. The team sent me through your comment saying, I was waiting for this to come in for months and I've got the collection, which is brilliant. So she's got hers, which is really good. Hello, Verena in Austria. Lots of people are watching from far and wide. Let me know if you haven't checked in yet on the comments. It's Crafters TV on Facebook. I would love to hear from you. Let's find out where you're watching the show from today. And just in case we've never met, my name's Derek, by the way. I am going to be your little stand-in for Joe when we let him have a little bit of time off here and there. So I'll be stepping into the breach. Now listen, one of the greatest things about being anywhere around these parts dealing with Crafters Companion is that as soon as you've spent your first pound or dollar, you're automatically enrolled into something called Club Inspire. Now don't worry, we don't need a direct debit. You won't be paying for it every single month, but it will be paying you back in lots of different ways. And here's Sarah to tell you how.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every pound you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
Thank you, lovely Sarah. And listen, if you've just recently gone platinum, something that we do on the show when I'm here hosting is that if you're just celebrating going platinum, instead of a horn or anything, really very noisy at 7:15 or 4:15 or 5:15 in the morning, we just do a get in as like a little bit of a celebration. So a quiet, kind of muted celebration of going platinum. Which is really good. Malia, or is it Malia? I'm going to go with Malia, has replied to me on the comments saying that's exactly the way you say Maui, which is one of the Hawaiian islands, which is brilliant. And yes, my name is said as, I'm going to go with Malia actually, because she spelt it out phonetically for me, which is very kind. So she's put M-A-H-L-E-E-A-R-R. So I'm going to go Malia. That sounds lovely. What a lovely name. Gorgeous. Can you just send us a picture of the view out of your window, please, Malia, if you don't mind? I would love to see it. Let's get the email address up for you. So you know anyway. You know this off by heart, don't you? Completely. It's, it's second nature to everyone. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. If you're working on any cards, by the way, or any projects, anything you want to share with Craig and myself, then please do. Again, we'd love to see them. I mean, this show is all about you. We are here to serve only you. Talking of Craig, should we have a look at Craig's star by? Because Craig's star by, sitting over here quietly, we haven't given a mention to for a wee while. It's amazing. It is amazing because this is a buy one, get one free. So This is your Spectrum Noir ink pad storage tray, which holds 18 ink pads. Now that's usually yours and is yours right now for $16.99 for one. But because Craig's having this as a star buy today, we are going to send you an extra one at no extra charge. So you won't pay $16.99 or $24.95 for the second one. You will get that one for free, which is amazing. And that's Craig's star buy today. And remember, you can arrange those in lots and lots of different ways. So they're very sort of space efficient as well, which is really, really good. Okay, now let's have a look at some of the other bits and pieces that are in the show as well. Now, if you're getting the ink pad storage, obviously you need ink pads to go with that. You might be topping up, you might be buying for the first time. How about this is a nice little bundle? A bundle of 15 of our opaque pigment ink pads. So this is your essential collection. And in there, and it's funny, when I go through the names of the colours, you'll recognise instantly from demonstrations from everyone here, the colours that quite often they use. So anthracite, baby blue, Bordeaux, damson wine, frosty jade, green topaz, honey pot is used a lot in demos here. Oasis, ocean blue, orange pale fig, plum, sandstorm, and straw bale. There, I've read them all in alphabetical order, I've just realised there. £59, $83 there. Of course, it's less if you are a Club Inspire member and you're working your way up. Also, we have fancy fonts. Now, I'm not showing you these today. I've got some. Shall I show them? I'll show you those down here, shall I? Because the fancy fonts, they are really, really good. Again, they're a word stamp and die set, and there are 10 sets of them as well. So, should we have a little? Should we have a little peruse, a little look through? These are really, really nice. You get all 10 sets of these. I've got samples for some of them as well. So on the thanks one there, you've got just a note to say thanks, special thanks, thanks for your help, thanks for all you do, thanks so much, thanks a bunch, thanks a million. And you've got thanks for everything, which is rather nice. And a wee sample, as Craig would say. So you spend enough time around Craig, you've got a Scottish accent all of a sudden. So there's a lovely thanks card. You also get your happy birthday. So you've got happy birthday, you've got may all your belated, hope your wishes, boy, girl, birthday wishes come true to you, is as fabulous as you. And there's a little sample for that one as well, which is really, really cute, saying may all your birthday wishes come true, which is very cute, isn't it? That's lovely. And then there is the set with celebrate. So it's time to celebrate, let's celebrate. Celebrate, it's your special day, good times, new beginnings, it's your birthday, together, and with lots of cake. And there's a card with let's celebrate with lots of cake. That cake looks amazing, doesn't it? Doesn't it? We could just all do with a bit of slice of that now. Then we've got sympathy, which is, again, is lovely because you've got a real wide range of sentiments would go with that as well. So with heartfelt, deepest, with deepest, thinking of you, wishing you comfort and peace. Sympathy is with you at this very sad time. My thoughts and prayers are with you, and so sorry for your loss. And here's an example of, you know, a sympathy card doesn't necessarily need to be in its appearance kind of downbeat. Do you know what I mean? You're often celebrating someone. Oh, hello. Craig's just nipped to the paper shop on his motorbike. Always doing it. Any excuse. So you can see there, it's a real sort of celebratory card, isn't it? Then you've got how I'll whiz through the rest of these actually. So you've got happy and with lots and lots of sentiments on there as well. You make me happy, choose, you make my heart, anniversary, and many more. And there's just an example of a you make me happy card. Then you've got sorry, again, another twist on the sort of sympathy card there. And actually, sorry could be for a variety of reasons as well, not necessarily just, you know, sort of a loss, could be anything. Director Matt said, yeah, it could be to a partner to say, sorry, will you ever forgive me? Will you have me back? Even though I burned the toast. Then you've got smile, and smile has got things like you make me smile, sending you a smile, smile things are looking up, lights up my world, is its, oh, smile is its sword. Is that what it says? Yeah. Smile is its sword. I think. Anyway, listen, we'll move on. That's a shaker as well, look. How cute. Anyway, love is the next one. All my love, with love, our love. A lifetime is not long enough to love. Love is in the air. Love and kisses. Love is a beautiful thing. And there's an example of a card with love there, which is really, really good. Oh, I love that. I love that background, that dotty background against the red of the sentiment. That's gorgeous. Then we've got thinking. So thinking of you, thinking on your birthday, special day, lots of love, happy thoughts, and sending about you, positive, I like you, etc., etc. You've got special, because you're special, you're very special, sending you special. On your birthday, delivery, boy, girl, little, day, friend, and to me. And there's an example of that saying, sending you special birthday wishes. Oh, sorry, this has taken longer than I expected, Johnny. I apologise. There's a lot in this bundle, isn't there? £50, $60. So here you've got family, which has got together we make a family. Welcome to the family. The key to having it all is knowing you already do. Where life begins and love never ends. Oh, that's sweet. Very emotional, isn't it? And then we've got friend. So a friend, thanks for being my friend. A truly great friend. Friend is hard to find, difficult to leave and impossible to forget. Reaches for your hand and touches your heart. And friend is a gift you give to yourself. Friend is a gift you give to yourself. A gift you give to... Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, cool. Lovely. So all of those, £50, $60 there. Far less, of course, if you are Club Inspire and you're making your way up the ladder. Now, something else very, very popular on this show as well. We're going to get back to Craig and demoing in just 1 second, but we need to tell you about today's very, very special bundle of embossing folders. Now, this is really, really good. Now, you're making around about a quarter saving on this bundle as well. So you've got the Venetian lace, you've got the decorative lace border, which is really cute, decadent lilies, which is rather grand, and the rickrack, which is the red and white one there, which is my favourite. All four of those, £16, $22. So it's a really, really lovely little saving on that one as well. Next up, we have got your ink dauber. And this is the ink dauber storage kit. So you get 40 daubers in this and the storage as well, doesn't it? I need to have a little look at this. I haven't actually seen this, but oh, okay, Craig's got some, so we can have a look at some in a minute. But that's really, really good, isn't it? So $19.50 or $26 on that one. Just a quick reminder as well, and I know I do know I keep saying this, and I'm almost tiring of myself, but I'm trying to save you some time and some hassle in checking out today if you're in the US, because the warehouse sale stock is live and you are buying it in your droves right now. In fact, the website is going, oh, give me a chance. It's all working and all fine, but if you're checking out right now, check out your warehouse as one cart. So everything you want from the warehouse sale, because someone let out a rumor that it's already live. So check out all of your warehouse sale stock in one cart, and then check out your regular show products. So if you want anything from this show or anything else that isn't in the warehouse sale, check that out as a separate cart, and you will find everything will flow smoothly. It's because all of our warehouse sale stock is coming from our California warehouse thingy, making room for some big things that are happening with us and HSM. But listen, you get the gossip from Joe. I'm sworn to secrecy. So the daubers, you've got the storage over there, Craig, as well for the daubers, have you?
I do indeed, yes. What we're going to go straight into the next demo, and I'll show you actually the daubers as well.
Brilliant.
How you can use them as well. So what I'm wanting to do is, I just want to take, let's go for pine tree, and I've got a honey pot ready to go here. So what I'm going to do first is, before we stamp anything, I'm just going to go around the edges using the honey pot. So I've got my ones here. There you can see that we're starting to, I say my ones, they're our craft room ones. So I've got these all ready to go. There is enough one dauber per colour if you're doing it for your pigment ink pads, so that's a good way to remember it. And what I've got here is it just sits on the end of your finger. So you can hold it like that if you so wish, but it does just sit on the end of your finger. So all that I'm just going to do is I'm just going to dab it, and I'm just going to add just a bit of colour. So the more that I dab it on, the more obviously intense it's going to get. If you wanted to do a strip of colour, so mask it off so you have a strip, what you would do is just go over and over again with the dauber of colour, and then what that's going to happen is that's going to give you a seamless blend or a seamless continuous strip of colour without any streaks or marks over the top. So all that I'm just doing is I'm just dabbing it all the way around, and then all that I'm just going to do is work all the way. So I'm just popping that in, working my way around. So if you feel that you don't get a good result when it comes to doing any of the blending, but you like to have some kind of colour around the outside, then of course you can do it this way. I'm not going to heat emboss it, use any embossing powder over the top. What I will just do though is I will just add just a wee bit of heat using the heat tool, and that'll just kind of help dry it slightly.
What's the name of the colour that you've got there?
This
Craig?
one's Honey Pot.
See, did I tell you in so many demos that you see here on Crafters TV, Honey Pot. Honey Pot, I hear so much when I'm watching demos, and I was here for many weeks before, sitting in the control room just watching all of the shows and watching Joe be amazing. And Honey Pot, I feel like I hear that a lot when it comes to the demos, and I can see why. Look at how sunny and inspiring the colour is.
It really is. It's a favourite of all of us, that's for sure. So I've just added just a wee bit of colour all the way around, but if I just let's just bring in just another bit of cardstock. This is just smooth cardstock, just to kind of show you what it's meaning. So you can use your low tack tape, or I've got some stencil tape just here. So what you could do, if you want to create kind of like a strip of colour, then all that you would tend to do is just kind of just mask off. Of course, I'm not going to do the whole lot, but just to let you see. So again, let's just go in with the colour. So I'm just going to dab that on. So all that I'm just going to do is carry on. So we're just going to really dab that on, and then what's going to happen, you're going to get that real intense colour, but you're not going to get any kind of blemishes or any kind of streaks or any kind of marks. You're going to get this real bright, intense, smooth coloured card. So if I just do just a wee bit more, just to show you, and because you're using the dauber, what's happening is obviously you're getting a whole lot of ink in that one area, which means you can then apply it to this area that I'm doing here.
Do you want to say hello to Reg in Paisley, who's loving your demos this afternoon, Craig, as it is now? Are we afternoon? Yes. Good afternoon, UK.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Reg, and to everyone else that is watching in this lovely Saturday, well, yeah, Saturday afternoon, isn't it? Well, here in the UK anyway. So just to show, so if I just bring that a bit close for you to see, so can you see you've got that real intense colour there? There's no lines, there's no blemishes, there's no nothing. We've got that full on colour, and then you can of course go over the top if you wanted to with some embossing powder, or of course you can start to seamlessly move into another colour tone as well using the daubers. So there we go, that gives you that idea. Let's bring in our card back. Let's bring that bit of kitchen roll as well. Just take that excess off. So what I'm then just going to do is bring in our stamping platform. Now I have been using the 4x4, it is out of stock at the moment, but you can of course use any of the other stamping platforms, they will work as well. So let's then bring in our A, and we're also going to bring in Amazing. Well, it says amazing because we're going to add the A. So let's bring in the A, and let's just pop that one within the middle. And then what I'm going to do again, let's just so I kind of get an idea for spacing, I'm just going to roughly work out, there we go, I'm going to leave it like that. So then using the pine tree, I'm just going to start to just dab that on, add that colour into place. So we've got a mix of the green as well as the deep yellow. And the reason being is we will finish it off with a decoration of a sunflower. So I've kept it within the sunflower colours. So let's stamp that. So we've got the A there. Let's take that one off, and then let's bring in the rest of the word, and then we're just going to start to dab that on.
Ooh, what colour's the A?
So
Craig?
the A is pine tree.
That's an amazing colour, isn't it?
It really, really is. It really pulls your eye in to whatever it is you are creating. Because remember, what were you about to say?
Oh, well, just quickly, there was someone who was looking for the 4x4 stamping platform. That I think you're using that one now, Craig, aren't you? And it's not appearing on the website since the bundle it was in sold out. And I'm afraid we don't have them at the moment. It's not showing live on the system at the moment. But as soon as I think you can go to the item, can't you? You can pop in your email address, and then we drop you an email when it comes back into stock as well. I tell you what, is there anything we don't do for you here at Crafters Companion? It's such a good service, isn't it? I mean, for someone, all you have to do is put in your email address, and then when it comes back in, they just say, "Oh hi, it's just us. Remember you wanted da 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 da," and there it is, and you're first to know, which is, I know, it's amazing, isn't it? See, things you learn. Anyway, Craig, sorry,
But
what you were saying.
If you've got the larger stamping platforms, they will work on these ones as well because they're small enough. So what I've just done is I've stamped A and amazing, and then just in the black I've just done you are. So we've got that you are amazing. So let's bring in a piece of cardstock. So this is just from our 8x8 cardstock, our texture cardstock. So I'm just going to just pop that one on, and then all that I'm just going to do is I've got a wee bit of low tack tape. I'm just going to just tape that down, and I'm just going to run that one through. Now, what you do not see is someone sneaking just over to the side of me. He's looking for something. There we go. I want to show you something just later. So there we go. We're just going to run that one through. So I'm just going to wait just till it goes over. I'm going to press pause, and then I'm just going to do the reverse. It just kind of acts as like a double cut. So that's going to come through, then that can then be laid over the top of what we've done. So absolutely use the stamps on their own if you want. You can use the dies on their own. When I say use the stamps on their own, you can use obviously the letters and the words together, or you could just use the large letters. If you've got that full alphabet as well as the numbers, think of these great big banners that you could be making, or cards, or memory books, or scrapbook pages, just by using the large stamps. Got so much within that full collection, you know, between stamp and dies. So all that I'm just going to do is just pop these ones out. So again, this is from our 8x8 texture cardstock. This is from the Bright collection for anyone that's got that one. So again, so there we go. So we've then got our A that we can see just there. So all that I'm just going to do is I've got just my glue. So this is just tacky glue in our small applicator. If you've got your dotty tape runner or your sprays, you can then just use that one. And then all that I'm just going to do is pop a wee bit on. You would add more adhesive than I am, but I'm just going to pop that just over the top. And I'm going to place it completely over the A this time. I'm not offsetting it. So there we go. So if I then just pop that one on and press, and then what I am just going to do just quickly as well, I would have done this beforehand, but I'm just going to go over the area because it's the opaque pigment. It stays wet just slightly. So then what I'm just wanting to do is just kind of dry that off without using any embossing powder. So that should do. So and all that I'm just going to do is bringing in my tape runner, and I'm just going to layer that up, and we can finish this one off. So let's bring in some layers that I've got just here, and I'm just going to then just press that on. So if we go the black, so as you can see with these ones, I've really gone quite large with my mats and layers. I think they're about 1/2 inch all the way around that I've done. So let's then bring this one on. So again, this green is also from the 8x8 Brights as well. So all that to do, layer this one up, and then I've got my sunflower, if you've got the decoupage set, which is here. So let's just add a bit of hot glue, just hold it into place. And I've even got just a bow. So let's just add a wee bit on just there. So then we can, let's do it so it's, what way will we do it? Let's do it so it's just down there. And then let's take our bow. I'm just going to add that just into the corner. Let's do it in that one. So then there we go. So we've used the inks, we've used the stamps, we've used the dies as well. And then what we've just done is incorporated a few products you might have from your Crafter's Companion stash. So there we go. You
Love
are amazing.
How much would you pay for a card like that in a store? And actually, you wouldn't find anything as vibrant like that in a store, would you? That's the point of this as well, isn't it? It's brilliant. Now, before we move on, I just feel I've got to say, first of all, Helen Goodwin, I love you. Thank you so much, because you have pointed out, you know, when we were looking at the sentiments earlier, and I got a bit confused over a sword. Well, now I can reveal all, because there are two stamps that go with the word smile that makes sense completely. So, first one is cool. First one says, beauty is power, a smile is its sword. Oh, you see now, it took Helen to work that out to solve that mystery. So, thank you, Helen, and I'm sorry for giggling like a 6-year-old child over that.
I didn't know that.
No, well, there you go. We've all learned something there. Now, this big collection is so popular. You've got the details there, by the way, so we'll bring back the details for the full. So is it half the stock now, Johnny? Right, so half of the stock of the entire collection has completely and utterly sold out. Now remember, in the collection, it is all 26 letters of the alphabet, so A through to Z, Z, plus your ampersand sign, plus all of your numbers. And this is the only bundle, this is the only way of getting hold of the numbers right now is in this big bundle. We also send you 10 sheets of the royal blue glitter card as well. £150, $160. Of course, for most of you, it's not that price because, of course, you've gone up your Club Inspire levels. So if you're up there at Platinum, obviously that's 20% less, which would be, 1530, would be £120, wouldn't it? 1632 would be about $132, I think, is that right? Yeah, something like that. Let's have a look at some examples. It's incredible, and that's it. You only have to buy once. And remember, of course, well, I'll come back to exactly what this can do. So there's an example of one of the letters there. Relax. This one, I haven't shown you this sample so far today. It's delicious. I think it's just perfect because I think 9's a funny age, isn't it? Really, to actually know what to put on the front of a card, because you've gone from sort of youthful images, and you're not quite in the, in the terrible teens. And it's kind of an in-between age, isn't it? Beautiful. And I love that even, look at that, because children are just so sophisticated from such a young age these days, aren't they? Is that just me knocking on saying that? It probably is, isn't it? But it's amazing. The statements that you can make from these letters is just incredible. It really, really is. Look at that. Happy birthday. Now that's taken what could be a very, very sort of plain image into something which is very, very much brighter and bolder. And how about this? New arrival. Lots of people got new arrivals on the way right now. A little baby journal there, just with the cover, just kind of accentuated with that big B. Now, something I do want to show you again, because something that I only realised halfway through this show, and this changed the game for me. Each one of the letters, so they come packaged like this, and when you open the package, what you'll get first of all is the die, and we've been seeing the dies through the show with Craig. So I've got just the example here of the Z or the Z, and then you've got the stamps that go with the die as well. Now, I hadn't realised this when we launched the show, and apologies for that again, but you're very kind and forgiving, and you'd been looking on the website, is that you can stamp out the solid of the letter, which makes this doubly universal, because it's great to have, of course, that lovely lace work in the die, which is phenomenal, love that, but to actually stamp, yeah. And actually, what you could do... Oh, and that's true. That's very... Yes, you're right. Director Matt has just pointed out that because the Z and the S from Zest used together, you could use that with the B as well, couldn't you? And make it best. Oh, this is turning into chain letters now, isn't it? Do you remember chain letters?
Chain letters.
I loved it. I don't know if you you would have had the same thing in the US, because all of the game shows that come to the UK started in the US pretty much, isn't it? I think it was only things like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that started here, and then we sent it across the pond, but most of it. So you've heard of chain letters, haven't you? Where you change the one letter in one word to make another word. And oh, we used to love that. We used to have a very funny comedian who used to present it here in the UK. So yes, so you've got the solid letter stamp plus some sentiments as well, which is good, that actually tie in with your main sort of image there, which I love. And remember, you're getting that 27 times over, because you've got 26 letters of the alphabet, you've got your ampersand stamp and die, then of course you've got your numbers, of which there will be 10, won't there? So there's 0 and then 1 to 9. Had to think about that, you see. Plus you're getting your glitter card as well, and that's why so many of you have gone. In fact, I can now declare that we are, wow, there's another nearly an hour, completely and utterly. But we are, what, 18 minutes left in the show, and exactly now, in fact, just over half of the stock has sold out and gone. I am not surprised at all. It's an amazing bundle, really, really attractive bundle. Thank you again, Helen, for your help on that one as well. Good morning, you guys, says Debbie in upstate New York. She says, Craig, you are amazing. I just love watching you. You're so sweet. Patricia's just asking which sandwich combo you were using in that last demo.
Exactly the same, so it's still our wafer thin die, so it's our base cut and plate, your card and die, then it's your plastic shim, magnetic shim, and then your top cut and plate.
Phenomenal. Right, okay, I think we've got time for one more demo, isn't it?
Let's go for it.
I'll over to you, sir.
Right, Theo, let's go for it. We're going to do something just bright and zingy for this one. So what we're going to do is bringing in something that I've already pre-done. So this is just using one of our 3D stencils. So I've just created my own background. And then all that I'm just going to do is I'm going to bring in the letter F. So if I get my set here, C, D, E, F, there we go. And then I'm just going to use the die. So we're going to bring in the letter F. And then we're just going to just die cut this to the side. However, it's not actually for this bit, the die cut that we're wanting. And that will all become, that will all be revealed just shortly. So let's just run that one through. So I'm going to run this one through. And then that's going to create, it's a bit like an aperture that's going to create of the letter F. So we can then make this one come out. And then we're going to use the stamp as well. This would be good if you are, you know, maybe obviously the summer holidays. I know here in the UK a lot of the schools haven't been in anyway. But if you've got young kids or toddlers and you're teaching them the alphabet or numbers, why not stamp some of these out and put them onto wee cards or something?
You could have animals, couldn't you? You could have an animal wall chart. So A is for aardvark, and B is for bear, and C is for cat, and D is for dog, and E is for elephant, and F is for frog, and so on and so on.
But yeah,
until you get to X, and then you go, oh, X is half a spider. Listen, I was on the spot. It's all I could come up with.
That's a good one. I like that one.
A spider with slightly less legs. So anyway, sorry, Craig.
That's okay. That threw me. That was good. I like that. I like that one. So I've just cut the F into the background. So this is the actual bit that we want. So let's just set that one to the side now. To save just a wee bit of time, I've also cut an F out just using our black card. So this is just our black matte card. Now what I've done is I've die cut that 4 times. So this is 3 of them layered upon each other. So there's 3 there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this one on top of there. So it's going to give a real thick kind of chipboard effect. However, before we go any further, what I'm going to do, let's just bring a bit of card. Actually, let's just do it onto, no, we will do it onto my bit of card because I don't want to get the glass mat all mucky because I've still got work to do on it. So let's just use, I'm going to use the jet black. Now you can of course just use your watermark ink if you want, your watermark ink pad. However, black on black, this will make it just a wee bit more shiny or enamelled. So all that I'm just doing is I'm just giving that top F a good coating of that ink. Then let's just take that bit of card that I was using earlier. So then all that I'm just going to do is bringing that in let's just pop that one over the top, and then let's just bring in our clear embossing powder again. I'm just going to cover that over the top, and then we're going to melt that one. So between the thickness of all the different layers, as well as this top layer giving it kind of like an enamelled coating or look, it's going to look really quite different. So let's bring in our heat tool, or our heat gun. So let's bring in the pokey tool, because it's quite fiddly. So all that I'm just going to do is just hold that down, and then as this starts to melt, I'm just going to move this out the way. So moving the heat tool, watching this melt. So if you like embossing powders but you don't want to go out and buy lots of different colours, then a good way of doing it is using our opaque pigment. All you need is clear embossing powder, and then you've now got all your clear embossing, because the colour from the ink pad is what's giving it the colour. So then what I'm going to do is it'll still be just a wee bit warm. So then all that I'm just going to do now on this one, let's bring in our glue again. And this is really going to make it quite thick by adding this one on.
Craig, you know there's very fine detail in this die.
Yes.
How many pieces of card could do you think, safely cut out at the same time, or would you do it one by one? You said you're using 4 there.
Yeah, I would always do just one layer. You could at a push do 2 layers, but yeah.
There's a lot of detail in that one, isn't there?
There is, yeah. So I would always just do 1 layer at a time. So all that I've just done is just die cut this, 4 times altogether, and then I've just layered them up using my glue, or if you've got your sprays. So then press that into place, and then this is how it gives you a good thickness look. So good for if you want to maybe make plaques for your mixed media, maybe your, what do you call them again? Mine's gone blank. Canvases, that's the word. So if you want to add maybe any gessos or that over the top as well, then you're going to get all these different mixed media effects. So let's just press that into place, just holding that now that I've got it in the middle.
Could you cut that die out in, I mean, I don't know if there is such a thing, so I might be making this up, but is there such thing as like a velvet finish card that you can buy? Because that would be quite nice, just to add a little bit of loft, I think the word is called, to the top of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it feels like a teddy bear on top.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously with the our dies, but with the pressure of the Gemini, there's so many different mediums that you could die cut into. The only thing you need to watch for when it comes to anything material, like what you've just said, yeah, that would work great. Obviously, if you've got a material like cotton with tight fibres or anything like that, really small, intricate detail might find it harder to cut. Just pop in your magnetic shim. But yeah, so many materials out there, as well as fabrics and that will cut using your Gemini. Oh,
I've just thought of one more. Could you, if you had well, I suppose it wouldn't matter what the thickness of it was necessarily, but could you cut that out of flower forming foam?
You could, yeah, that would cut out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, that would work. So then all that I've just done now is taken that bit where we've die cut the aperture and just using the black again. So that was the jet black from our opaque pigment. Then I'm just going to press that into place. So we're just holding that one in. And then all that I've just done beforehand is gone over with the clear embossing powder. You can see just there, so we get a nice sheen to it. There we go, you get a nice sheen to it. So let's move that one out of the way. Bringing in some layers, gone very neon with this style. So I'm just going to bring in my tape runner. We're just going to layer this one all up together. So we're going to get a really nice fancy effect to it. So we've gone from a smaller card to larger cards. We've brought in Sarah's signature collection, brought in our decoupage. So have a look, see what you've got within your collection at home. It doesn't have to be ours, it could be so many different collections that you've got, and incorporate these stamping dies. So just press that into place like that. Then all that I'm just going to do is, using our tape, add this to the back, just on the one-dimensional using our tape. That can slot back on top there. Then what we're going to do is, let's bring in this sort of enamel effect one that we've done. We're just going to add just a bit of adhesive, anything extras like your wee tool here. Wee tool. My mind's gone blank, Derek.
The glue.
The glue. The glue applicator, that's the word. You'll find all them on the website as
Tell
well.
you what, that's a wild background, isn't it? In quilting, I think you call that tumbling blocks, don't you?
Is it? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. It's wild, isn't it? I love it.
So all that I've just done, I've just slotted that one back into the die cut piece. Now that really adds a lot of texture to it, because I'm not quite sure we can see it from up above, but we can see along maybe at the side. There we go. There we go. We've got quite a big, deep bit of texture. There we go. See how thick that is. Now, of course, you don't have to do 4 or 5 layers. Maybe just do 2. Maybe just 1 if you want. It's entirely up to you. But at least it gives you the option. Then, just on a bit of white card, I've just stamped for a special that you'll be able to see just there, and also gone over with a embossing powder. And then all that I'm just going to do is just add in that on. So let's just bring that to the top. I'm going to press that. Then I've just got some die cut flowers just here. Let's just bring these in. So let's just bring in our hot glue for this one. So let's go into there. Let's go into there, and then they're just overlapping them. So if you've got a friend that likes all their discos, their neon clothes, or maybe they've still got shell suits from all these years ago, then this would be a good one for them.
Did you ever have one, Craig? Because you're obviously now discovered you're substantially younger than I am.
Yeah.
What colour was it?
It had yellows and greens in it.
Oh, it wasn't purple.
Neon. So no, it wasn't purple. No, it was not purple. No. There we go. There's another way in which you can actually use them by actually creating an aperture using the letter, and then just created our own chipboard using the die cuts.
That's so nice,
so there
isn't it?
We go.
I could look at that
funky one
all day long. That's a brilliant card, isn't it? That is superb. It's a bit spellbinding. If you're thinking about this entire collection, and listen, I'm not here to make the decision for you. I'm here to watch the amazing demonstrations and then fathom how much I'm going to use this. I'm going to use it for my cards. And listen, you know that you're very much speaking to an amateur baker here when it comes to card making. I'm just entering that journey. I'm just taking my first few steps. But I can see straight away just how versatile this is. For being able to stamp out those solid letters, I think that was a game changer for me, because suddenly I'm going to be labelling things that need labelling in decor around the house. You're creating your own kind of upcycling possibilities there. I'm thinking just in my own life, so this may apply to you as well. I'd love to make a house sign name, because the house sign outside of my house along a wall, it's seen better days. It needs renewing. I could do that with this. Card making, brilliant. Because how often, when you buy something that says it can be personalised, even if it comes with a sheet of letters, there's never enough E's or K's, or you run out of letters, don't you, straight away. Here, you're universal completely. Think about announcements. Think about message boards in your house. Think about Amy's bedroom and being able to make that from this kit. Quite aside, if you have your own business of any sort, if you sell something, if you display something, then actually the way you display it is really important. And that's all aside from card making. Cards, of course, every occasion, every birthday, every anniversary, and so many more reasons aside those standard reasons that we send a card, then this set is going to work for you, isn't it? And it's brilliant. And the more we've explored it in the last couple of hours, the more I've thought to myself, oh, here we go. What am I gonna jump for? What am I gonna jump from one level of Club Inspired to another by getting this kit? Now remember, it's £150 or $160. The only way of getting the numbers is in this bundle right now. So the complete alphabet from A through to Z, Z, plus the and ampersand, and the numbers, and 10 sheets of your royal blue glitter card there as well. £150, $160. Of course, the further up Club Inspire you are, the less that price tag is. Really worth your consideration. And so many of you, I have to tell you, so many of you have checked that out during the show. We were staggered by how many of you had bought before the show even started. We started the show with a third of the stock sold out and gone. Now we're well over a half of that stock sold out and gone. And listen, you know, that's a considered craft buy. That's something you need to really sort of invest some time in thinking about as well. And so many of you have. So congratulations. I can't wait to see what you get to do with them as well. Can I just show you another quick couple of examples of what you can and what has been done by some of our wonderful team here as well, which are brilliant. So look, you know how Joe loves a tag? Well, there's a hugs and kisses tag, which is rather cute, made by Lisa. I have to say my favourite of all of the samples, and I know you shouldn't have favourites, is this one by our lovely Margaret, because I just think it's incredible, because she's not just used the die for the U there, she's used it and cut it out and actually made a stencil for the background, so the U's are on their side in these tri-bands with the butterflies. I just think that's absolutely genius. But think about it for things like this as well. H for happy new home, H for Harry, D for Donald. I mean, how many cards that you would love to personalize, you cannot personalize because you cannot, you know, that name or that spelling of that name just is never around when you're looking at personalized bits and pieces. And again, remember the numbers. I mean, how superb is that? It's glorious. Who can I credit for this one? Because it is just amazing. It is. Who did this one? Oh, Lisa Taylor. Lisa Taylor, I love you. You're a genius. Look at that. That's just so ethereal up there, because that is brilliant. Of course, you can make your own bunting kind of celebration banners, can't you? Absolutely.
So I made this the other day. I have to say, I took inspiration from something that Lady Linda Fitzgerald made on our design team. So go out onto our Facebook pages and check all the design teams, because what they make is incredible, like Derek says. But then there we go. So these are just 5x5 card blanks, and I've just created this effect just here. So I've stamped each colour on the background, overlaid it with black, and that's it. Bit of matting and layering, but obviously I've done hello, but you could do so many different things. Again, if you want to teach kiddies words, pictures, anything like that, maybe a nice way of doing it. We've done it that way, or it could be that way.
Brilliant. Craig, while you're there, just show us your storage, because you're star by before we go.
My storage. So, of course, 25th of July, it is Christmas in July. So I want something really special. So we've got, it's the trays to hold your ink pad. So it will hold the whole collection of either your pigment, water reactive, or your quick dry. So you're getting 2 boxes. So you're actually getting one, and you're getting another one free. Buy one, get one free on these ones. Holds your ink pads, it holds our Harmony ink pads. However, what we've also got within each tray, there's actually a wee notch just out to the back. And then what that enables to do, if you've got the square ink pads, then you can then pop these ones on as well. And then that just allows you to store them as well as our Harmony ones. They either tower up, they can go side by side, or a bit vertical, they all clip into place as well. But saying that, do you know what? If you don't have any of the ink pads, why not just store maybe bits of paper, you know, maybe any accessories that you've got. Think of how else you could use them. But yeah, buy one, get one free.
Smashing, thank you, young man. So normally your $16.99 is one set, of course, which will hold 18 inks. But today, Craig's star buy 2 for the price of 1 for $16.99 or $24.95. That is it. We are up to the wire. We've had such a good time today, haven't we? Absolutely brilliant. But listen, we've only just begun, because in 3 hours' time, Craig, we're back. And you know, it's the guilty show. It's the guilty show, because it's the one where I get to sit and you get to stand. But of course, we have some of our friends in as well in the craft house.
We do indeed. So that's going to be a fun one. I cannot wait for that. I was just having a look. I've got obviously all my demos and that prep for later on. It's going to be another fun one. I'm really enjoying these live shows over the weekend.
I'm loving it.
There seems just something a wee bit different about doing them live over the weekend. So we've got a good selection. So whether it's stamping, whether it's die cut, we've got a good selection to whatever you fancy. And maybe speaking to someone from my neck of the woods.
I've just heard that one of our friends joining us this afternoon. We've got Laura and Christine joining us this afternoon. One of which is north of the border, Craig.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be like being home again, won't it? Amazing. Listen, join us if you can in 3 hours. We're also going to be talking alphabets later as well. So actually, on the back of what we've seen today, we've actually got a little bit of shadow alphabets coming up later as well, which might well be in addition. I don't know whether to apologise or to celebrate. It's going to be great. So join us again if you can. I'm going to work out the times first of all. So in 3 hours time in New York, it's going to be 11 a.m. And in California, it's going to be glorious breakfast time, 8 a.m. In the middle, it'll be 7 a.m. Central Time. That's never forget Central Time. In Melbourne in Australia, it's going to be, what is it now? It's 10 o'clock at night, so it'll be 1 a.m. in the morning. In the future, like tomorrow morning, it's already got there. And here in London, we're not in London at all. We're nowhere near London. We're about 250 miles away.
Good morning, London.
Good morning, London. It will be 4 p.m. in London. Thank you for your lovely company today. See you back here with Craig and some of you live for the Craft House at 4 o'clock. See you later.